All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, we'll probably have another one before Christmas, but
You're not wearing your toque.
I have a toque or a Santa hat. I'll put it right here.
Justin's
Thank
not
you,
wearing his toque.
Christina and Tiffany, for bringing it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Little Oak Weekly.
Little Oak Weekly. Almost weekly this time.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
Doing better. How's it going? How you doing?
Fantastic. And yourself?
I'm also well. I'm excited about Christmas.
Are you ready?
Yes. We, this year, my wife and I were very planned and intentional around the Black Friday, whatever garbage that goes on. So we were like locked and loaded.
Nice.
Had everything ready to roll. And I do miss going to a mall. Like when our kids were young, we would like, it was amazing. We would like usually like we would set a day aside. And you want me to keep talking while we're doing this? Okay. There we are. When we had little kids, you know, my oldest is 18, right? So whatever. Your oldest is a little older.
24.
But like, you know, we would take like a day in maybe late November, early December, whatever. And like and we'd have the list and we would go out and we would go between like Metrotown and Guilford and whatever. And we would literally leave early in the morning, go out all day, grab the mall lunch, finish up by 7, go for dinner, hit Earl's and Langley, whatever. It was like, it was just our thing. It was amazing. And I love the feeling of like, all of the bustle in the mall that people complain about. Like, I don't want to do that every day, but I enjoy doing that once a year. And it's like, I really love, you know, buying gifts for my kids. Like, that's fun. And it is different. Like, you know, when you're buying like the coolest, like I remember one year we got my son some like old school Transformers. Yeah. So like that is like pulling on my heartstrings, right? So
especially if he likes it. And
86 Optimus Prime, you know, or so that I missed that because now, you know, like it's all just online and, you know, my daughters, it's whatever, it's Sephora this or what's the clothing store that girls like? I don't know. I can't remember.
My kids are thankfully.
Anyone listening is they're yelling it out right now. I know what it is, but whatever. The really
it's obviously
no. Everyone's get these stupid puff jackets. No, my kids.
My son has one.
Not my kids aren't getting a puff jacket, but it's the place that sells the puff jackets. It's the Aritzia. That's Aritzia.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, between Sephora and Aritzia, my daughters are covered, and then my son, he might listen to this, so I don't want to say.
Oh yeah, don't say what he's going to get.
But yeah, we got him covered as well. And so there's like little things to.
So you're a mall guy, eh? I tried.
I enjoyed it for that. For that day.
Okay.
Shoot me in the face to go there any other time of the year. But then the problem is now is like you know, we tried last year. I went to the mall with my daughters to do some shopping for Kristen, like for her gifts. Yep. And
you'll find less and spend more.
Well, yeah. And we went like, we were there in November. Like, it's not like I left it till December 15th or whatever. They don't even have like half of what is online. Like if one thing, if the stores carried it all and had all the sizes, then I would happily go there and like, you know, help out the local retailer or whatever. But they don't even, a lot of these stores aren't even carrying everything they have online. And now with like, you know, everything is like, you know, you can order it online and come to you if you don't like it, you send it back. There's no cost. So the world has changed. So our shopping this year was, you know, void of that experience. I don't know. We might like, because it's like mine and her tradition, maybe we'll still find a way into a mall to go get something.
We're going Friday just to like,
there you go.
Kids are going to be gone. So
yeah. So maybe her and I will do that. Like we still have like, a tradition. What were your stockings like growing up?
Stockings.
Like, did you have stockings?
I did, but they're definitely not like what my kids have for stockings.
Yeah. So I grew up like my stockings were consisted of like, you know, maybe some socks, maybe some underwear, and then like a ton of chocolate and garbage. And like maybe my mom found like a little knick-knack thing. Like maybe it's this like cool pen knife or like whatever. Some random thing from Canadian Tire. Well, my wife, who did, you know, grow up a little bit more blessed life than me, I remember when I met her, you know, we not met her, but we're in our early years of, you know, kids growing and whatever. And she's like, okay, we got to do the stockings. I'm like, well, what's so difficult about stockings? Like,
yeah,
you know,
throwing
it's
oranges,
turtles, get oranges. Yeah, I literally got oranges in my stockings.
Yeah.
Well, the stocking expectation in her family, it would be like, it's quite significant. So even the stockings, the way she wants, like, I mean, you know, these are whatever. There's like a bunch of little really cool gifts, and size, as we know, does not necessarily mean cheap.
It definitely doesn't.
So I think we still have some stocking shopping
to
do. So maybe we'll go out and do the stocking shopping. And then this is the other thing about her stockings, which absolutely nuts. Like my stocking was like, you know, similar to something like this.
Yep.
And nothing, like everything was just dumped in the stocking. It's kind of halfway pouring out. And then, you know, on Christmas morning, we'd start with stockings. You just dump your stocking out and then everything's there. Right.
Yep.
Not in my wife's family. Every item is wrapped in the stocking.
Oh yeah. We do the same.
You do that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
don't think I grew up like that, but that's how we do it now.
So,
and I don't really know.
Yeah. So like so the amount of time that goes into wrapping
the
stocking items.
Yeah.
So like usually, not every year, but like there has been a number of years where on Christmas Eve, after we've put the kids to bed.
Yeah, you're just wrapping
We're still wrapping the stockings. Everything else is ready to go, but the stock, because there's like a billion things to wrap. But I think, you know, what we try to do is we try to find a night where the kids are like out and about, which is a lot easier now that they're older.
Now they're older, yep.
And then we, you know, put on a Christmas.
At least you
movie.
can help. I can't help wrap because if I do, our kids are young enough that, you know, we still have the magic of Christmas through our house. And if dad's wrapping the gifts, people are like, okay, what happened?
What is this? What is this garbage? Yeah. We know he's not an elf. He wouldn't even be allowed in the North Pole. So get out of there. Well, how old is your youngest?
8.
So is Santa like real?
Yeah.
And everybody in the house. Man. Well, I'm totally a proponent of that.
Yep.
And like
I will lie straight to my kid's face when it comes to that.
Oh, I remember when my oldest finally burst my youngest bubble.
Oh,
right. So I remember reading the Riot Act to my two oldest, like you shut your mouths, like you will not have a Christmas. And I will break your arm. You know, and they hung on for a while. And I remember the years where it was teetering.
Sure.
We could have kept Ebony's many years. We could have kept Ebony like probably for one more year. But then I think it was Jada who like kind of did that. Like, she's like, Ebony, why are you so stupid? Like, you know, she just
I have the benefit of the older ones are the brothers and they all want the sisters. Like they get it. Right. So it's been thankfully a good process, but.
So you still have, that's fun. So you still have the magic of Santa.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I have a video on my phone. Maybe I'll pull it up and then we can overlay it while I'm talking about this. I have, you know how like, whatever it is, you know how those little short videos where a picture will get made into a video. I have this little like 2-second, 3-second thing. Somehow I captured this amazing moment where this is many years ago. My youngest is probably like 4 or 5. She's like dancing in front of the tree. She's just come down the stairs and she's spinning around just in like total joy. And it looks like somebody who knew what they're doing photography wise captured this unbelievable moment. It's a memory on my phone and there's like glitter from the tree and she's just spinning and like her brain is exploding. Yeah. You know, it's Christmas and there's presents and this is the greatest thing ever.
This would be going back probably like 5 years. I have video of both my girls like dancing in front of, because we have quite a big tree in our living room. Yeah. And I still look at it every year because you can just see their face. They're just like, I love that stuff. So
do you have, what's your like Christmas Eve tradition? Like, do you do something all the time?
We switched it up.
You open gifts on Christmas morning, right?
Yeah.
There's like people who open on like.
We let them open a gift because Christina
on Christmas Eve,
but it's pajamas. It's stuff for like doing movie night or something.
We do the same. We do the pajama thing too, but the pajamas get given on December 1 so that they can wear the Christmas jammies throughout the Christmas season. Somewhere along the way, I think we made that change. I think we used to do Christmas Eve, but it's December 1. So now my kids are rolling around in like Christmas jammies.
Yeah.
Our
kids have just gotten used to the fact that they are excited to watch more movies on Christmas Eve. There will be chips and popcorn in that whatever they open up.
100%.
But then, our Christmas Eve, we used to go out and do stuff. I don't like people. I just like, let me stay at home. When do you ever do, so this is going to sound like I have not been to a
Christmas Eve, like candlelight service.
We try and go with my parents because my parents want to go.
I kind of have a hankering to go. I'm trying to talk my family into it. They're looking at me like I'm nuts.
Hey, I remember when I was little though, they were like actual candlelight services.
That's what I
don't
want.
do it anymore.
I don't want the
like
stage
LED
band production. No. I want totally acoustic acapella.
Yeah.
I want candlelight. I want like silent night. I want, whatever.
Yeah, don't give me some modern.
No.
Yeah, give me the typical
I want
Christmas
like 1954 candlelight Christmas service. That's what I want.
There needs to be a potential for the building to burn down.
Right, totally. Yeah, I want to know that kids are like itchy in the wool clothes that they're wearing.
They're not happy to be there. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah. That I'm going to try to source that out. Our tradition for a number of years now has been like Christmas Eve. We lock it down. We don't see anybody, and it's just our family. And we watch usually a couple Christmas movies, but the crescendo is always National Lampoon's greatest Christmas movie of all time.
Amazing.
And we're playing games. We're snacking on Christmas snacks.
Elf with the kids. That's the
that's a great one too.
Christmas Eve one. But Christina and I
Poons is a little bit mature for the 6-year-old.
The boy.
Can't see the lines, can you?
So good.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
There we go. Christmas. So we have a few things to discuss. I'll just start. I know you've got some stuff to bring up, but I'm just going to start. So a little market commentary and what we should be, in my opinion, anticipating, and then how we should be responding to the market through this now Christmas season. So we will recall that as we came into the fall, September was kind of meh. And then October, you remember we talked about this last month, like, October bumped up. And I wasn't tempting to be pessimistic in my, October's not maybe what we thought it was. I think in the last time we podcasted, I might have actually said like, hey, some of the October numbers might actually be byproduct of September work, but then the sale comes through. And so if we're going to say, hey, there's a trend, we need to see another month where you have the same thing. And so, as it turns out, November didn't continue the rise. In fact, the November numbers came back a little bit. So now if we look at September, October, November in its totality, yes, there's a little bit of a spike in October, but I choose to look at it and say, like, take all three, average them out. They're all kind of identical. And somebody hit a light. Pause for station identification. You might want to cut this part out or just leave it. I just stared awkwardly into the camera. I didn't keep talking. There's about 20, 30 seconds that we've probably cut out now.
It's hard for you to keep the conversation.
I stared awkward. Well, yeah, I had nobody. I could have just talked to the seat. That would have been awkward.
Okay, so anyways, we talked about the numbers from September, October, November.
Okay, yeah. So when you take September, October, November. So I'll rattle off some numbers for people. It's worth saying too, it's kind of weird. There's a discrepancy between the numbers that are showing on Stats Center and then versus the numbers that are showing on the page 1 of the Paragon.
Weird,
it's like right
connected. Oh no, they're not.
Well,
Fraser Valley. They're not.
Well, they should be connected. It's like right now, it doesn't matter. The discrepancies are small, but November 2025. Total sales are showing 936. Okay. November 2025. Total sales in October were apparently 958. Okay. And this is right off the Fraser Valley Real Estate board page. The thing that doesn't make sense is when you go to Stats Center.
Does Stats Center get their data from Paragon? Does the Fraser Valley board, Stats Center? I don't actually know.
Well, they must. I mean, the two must be connected. But the weird thing is that if you look at all sales, so this is all property types. So now maybe what it is there's some property type that's being grabbed here that's not showing
in there
in Paragon. I don't know. But bottom line is that we talked about there being just over 1,000 transactions in October last month, right? 1,063, but that's 100 more than what's showing on Paragon right now. Whatever.
Could this be commercial as well?
It shouldn't be.
It's just residential, right?
It should just be residential.
Okay. Interesting.
So, anyways, the numbers don't align, but the bottom line is this. We had
they align month to month though? Like, is it?
They never align identical month to month because what happens is when you're capturing data, like let's just say on November the 5th, we want to capture the data for October. Well, we all know that not all October sales have reported. So you're not going to have completely up to speed data. In fact, even right now, I'll bet you that there's going to be a sale that reports for October 2025 that has not reported yet because there's been paperwork that's screwed up. Maybe it was subject to sale, something gets backdated, whatever. So the further away you get from a date, the more accurate the data, but you still see the trend. And so the point I'm trying to make, kind of bouncing all over the place here, is that October was not the sign of the market's turning around. It was a little blip. November's retracted back a little bit. And if we look at September, October, November in their totality, they were all kind of the same. Now, each person has little independent different experiences, right? Like, you know, you'll hear stories from someone that says, well, my September was busier or my November was busier. And these are all just anecdotal and based on, well, who are the humans that you're working with at the time and the price point you're in. But in general, the market was the same. And what we continue to see month over month over month, this is the story that has not changed, is that the home price index, you know, I would say the most generally accepted way of measuring home values, has continued to drop month over month. Like that has not stopped. And so we're losing, you know, roughly a percentage or two
per month,
not even 2%, 1% or 1.5% per month since spring of this year. So the home price index for detached, attached combined in the spring of this year had bumped up a little bit from the winter of last year. So we hit an average home price index of 972. And then you can see we just tracked down mildly month over month all the way through the summer to now that number that was 972 is now down to 912. So we've lost, let's call it like, what is that? 7-8% values throughout the course of the year. So, you know, I think as sales occur, as more sales occur, what we all know in the story of the market is that the ones that are selling are the ones that are priced properly, right? So we're getting, as we get new benchmarks every month, new sales come through and, you know, people finally make reductions or new listings come on at lower numbers than they originally intended and those pop off. Those sales are what drive the home price index, right? It's only sales that drive the index. And so those, the sales are showing that month over month, we're down like 1.5% each month. And, you know, that's not like cataclysmic change, but that is definitely I would say a consistent trend that, you know, in order to sell in an environment where you have a lot of inventory, you've got to be marginally lower than the last sale.
So in that, with using those stats, and you're talking about how you're more from a seller, you know, this having to adjust price or come in lower. What are you saying to buyers? Like, are you having buyers though that are like, well, it's going down, maybe we just wait a little bit?
Well, yeah, like, I mean, it depends on the buyer you're talking to. So, you know, the investor market has been incredibly slim and maybe there's some people that have stories of, you know, investors. I don't see any stories of investors coming back in great numbers at this point. But I could see that changing in combination with a few things. So, you know, next week we have an interest rate announcement again. And I know you know, it's a 90% chance the rates aren't going to move. So maybe nothing's going to happen next week. But the backdrop of all of this is that, you know, we have a struggling economy. And the numbers behind, you know, they always say like, well, GDP did this. And then when you look behind the GDP, like some of the details of the numbers behind the GDP number on the surface are quite concerning. And, you know, domestic consumer spending is way down. There's some things that come externally from our country that have propped some of our numbers up, but like domestic Canadians buying and selling down or consuming down. So all that to say, I think that's going to continue to put negative pressure on interest rates. And we're getting to a moment in time now where I think interest rates may we may hit a traction point where investors who have been on the sideline for a while start to go like, oh, that's a pretty good deal based on when you combine, you know, the price drop and now the cost of lending. I want to re-enter the market. So I have I have more optimism at this moment in time. I have more optimism for 2026 in terms of some positive change in the market than I had this time last year going into 25.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, it's measured. I'm not trying to say we're about to hit a bull market and things are going to take off, but you got to remember, like,
we went through a weird year.
We went through an incredibly weird year. And the thing to remember too is that, like, the real estate, so, I just finished saying the economy sucks. Yes, the economy does suck, and that's not going to change anytime soon. But a soft Canadian economy does not necessarily mean a soft real estate market. See, you have to separate transaction volume and prices. Okay, there's two separate different conversations. The reason we've had the struggle we've had as agents over the last, 2 years is because transaction volume has been critically low. At the end of the day, we have, whether a home sells for 1.2 or 900, if the home sells, there's a transaction and an agent makes money. And it's not like it's so much less money that it's like, oh, I can't live off that. We need volume of sales. We've had low volume of sales. The reason we've had low volume of sales is because, with all the calamity that's gone on and the uncertainty, people have frozen and by and large not transacted. So what I'm saying I'm optimistic about for 2026 is I think there's going to be a little bit of an unfreezing that happens. I don't think the economy's taken off. I don't think prices are taking off drastically, but that doesn't matter. All we need is, instead of 1,000 transactions a month, it'd be nice to have 1,300 or 1,400. And I am feeling and seeing that we're going to have a higher volume of transactions in 2026 than we did in 2025. So that's great news if that happens. I mean, and that is a prediction. I mean, I guess there's no guarantee of that, but I'm feeling like that's, I'm planning for that, and I'm talking like that, and I'm even seeing evidence of it in my own people in my network. Like, there's conversations that are happening today that just were not happening 6 months, 9 months, 12 months ago. So, this is my own stories from my own life. But then I think that we're going to see further interest rate drops in the early part of 2026. Now, that's the Bank of Canada lending rate that impacts variable. There's other things that go into, what impacts the fixed rate market. But there are also many stories of, it seems as though the U.S. is going to be shifting in a way where their interest rates drop in 2026 as well. And so, if they drop, then there's that kind of paves the way for us to be able to drop as well. I mean, not that it's not quite that simple. I don't want to describe it like that, but at the end of the day, like, we tend to flow where they flow.
You were talking about, like, that's how you're planning for next year. One of the questions that I had was, an agent, which I assume there's probably quite a few, had a rough year. And agents had a rough year.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. But the feeling of doing everything, like, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of sucks because you feel like you're doing all the right things and you're not getting to where you want to. So what are you saying to an agent, or what would you be saying to an agent that's in that spot right now? Like, what should they be doing or changing as we plan towards going to 2026?
2026. Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to obviously get into this a little bit next week in our business planning. But now more than ever, let me frame it this way. When we were in 2021, 22, I would say the mindset or the philosophy in business planning was one where, the problem wasn't how many fish were in the lake to catch.
Yeah.
It was like, the fish are there.
How do I grab them?
And there was challenges in that, right? Like, there was people who were maybe, newer in the industry, or like fighting with buyers, and there's 17 offers on a place. And how do I can't get the fish in the boat because I can't get the property. So, but generally speaking, the problem wasn't, I'm not aware of anyone in my life who wants to transact.
Yeah.
Different challenge, different strategy, different plan that goes into that. That's all been stripped away. And now it's more a problem of, like, how do I find people who want to transact?
Are you adjusting your plan going into a year based on what the previous year did for you, though? Like,
so Yes and no. So, okay.
I mean,
the philosophy of what I believe, the way I teach and what I believe and what I tell people to do, like, I think that no matter whether it's 21 or now, I believe people need to have primarily relational database driven business models as your base. So the fact of the matter is that no, that does not change. But here's what changes. In 2021, you maybe only needed to know 100 people to get enough transactions for where you were happy. Well, when the percentage of the population drops significantly in terms of number of people who are transacting in general, if you want to continue to do the same or more sales, you got to know more people.
Yep.
Or more people need to know you is probably the better way put. So, we've often talked about, streams of revenue, and streams of revenue are just generally speaking, they're groups of relationships that that you invest in, and you spend time and value on in hopes of getting a return. So, the shift this year, if I can say there is one versus a 21 or a 22, it's the same foundation, but now we have a different problem. So how do we make plans to expand our relationship base? And, the reality is nothing is an overnight fix. Nobody, if anyone's telling you right now, like the garbage that you see, sign up for this program and I'll get you 5 listings in the next 30 days. All of this can just be answered with data, like from where and for at what cost and who are these people? I mean, we cannot change the fact that in the last 12 months in the entire Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, there has been, according to the Stats Center, 11,556 transactions.
11,000?
11 in the last 12 months.
Oh, 12 months.
So we are tracking in the last 12 months
than 1,000.
under 1,000 transactions a month. So we all are feeling it, right? Everybody, no matter your level of experience, sales, whatever, the pie has shrunk significantly. If you go back to the crazy times, I mean, there would have been times where we were almost at 30,000, not quite, but almost 30,000 in a year, well over 25. And, I would say a normal balanced time would be somewhere like 15, 16, 17, 18, right? So if that were happening, all of us would feel the impacts of that as well. So some of this is market dynamics, but when we're in this moment and we're all feeling it, well, how can we ensure we get more of the pie? You got to know more people. So then the business planning strategy goes into, okay, well, what are my spheres? Who knows me? What have I been doing? And what can I do to expand and know more people and have more people know me and have more relationships and start bringing value to those people so that they transact with me? It's all the same stuff that people know, but it requires a refocusing and new work and new thought processes and, digging deeper and doing more. And I have said this before, like I've said to people, like, we need to do all the things, like in moments like this, like, going to the things that we don't necessarily want to go to, but being involved in things, being in front of people, building those relationships. We got to do those things, because if we just hide in our house and don't see new people, how do we expand what we're doing? So there is great value in doing that. And actually last week, I didn't do this thinking this way, but I went to this event kind of going like, I don't really want to go, but I went. And then lo and behold, I'm at this event and I end up at this table with this individual that I end up in a conversation with. And like, he starts chatting with me about real estate. And the next thing you know, he's like, hey, I'd like to get together and talk in the new year about this. Like, I didn't know this guy from a hole in the ground, but I went to this event, sat at the table, dreaded it. And I'm there and I came away going like, isn't that funny how that works? Right. Like, I pushed through and I have a new contact that could possibly turn into a transaction of sorts in 2026, all because I forced my butt to go to this thing that I didn't really need to go to, but I was like, I should go. And I went. And so there's all kinds of things like that are really important.
Yeah. You talked about the business planning thing next week. So that's on Wednesday next week. It's funny. The question, when I was talking with this person about, the struggles that agents are going through, I wonder how many agents, even when they have a good year, do the business planning, looking back at it, going like, what did I do right? And then making sure that they're doing that for the next year. Because I've talked to agents before in 21 that had great years, never saw them at any sort of business planning thing for 12 years. And
all boats rise in rising tides. Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, hey, whatever. I'm not going to be able to change the math. I know that there's a large percentage of people that, I mean, here's the thing. They take ideas, they take thoughts, they might listen to it and like implement a thing or two, but they're not necessarily writing a business plan. That's fine. All I can say is that if you take the time to write something out, put a plan on paper, computer, however you do it, and then execute on it, there is what's that saying? Aim for nothing, miss every time, or what's it? If you aim for nothing, you'll hit nothing with extreme accuracy, or I don't know, something like that. You gotta, if you aim for nothing, well, you'll hit it every time, right? But aiming for something and, not hitting a bullseye and missing the bullseye and missing it by this much still means that you did a lot, right? Yeah. So, you got to have a plan. You got to aim for something. And, we do this because I know it works. And there's lots of people that will tell you it works. I've done it myself for many, many years. And, it's really, really valuable to be able to put a plan in place and then measure and manage it as the year goes on. Mm-hmm. You can't manage what you can't measure. No. And so if you can put something down that you can measure, you can track, is this working? How's this going? What do I need to be doing? Tweak this, tweak that. And now more than ever, I mean, transactions are slim and we need to know more people and more people need to know us. And this is the time to do it. On that, related to that, aside from business planning, like something practically that I'm doing right now, I do this every year, but again, when things are slow and hard, it's even more important to do it. I just went through I have my, database of clients. So I've got my past clients, and then I've got, over the years, I've got people that they're no longer maybe like my clients because maybe they've transacted with another agent over the years, or, maybe they moved away, or, whatever, all kinds of things. But I've gone through my entire life of everybody in my contact list, which is lots, right? Like it's like hundreds of people. Sure. And I just spent time with it, scanning it, and not just scanning it intentionally. So looking at each name, and just asking these questions, where do they live? What's their family status? Would they have adult children now? What's changed? And then if there's any reason in my mind at all that I think that person would benefit from a phone call, I just put a star by their name. Mm-hmm. And this is not the people that I'm currently transacting with, or listed or whatever. Mm-hmm. These are just, I went broad in my life. And I came away with a list of I don't know, I want to say it was 25 people or something like that, where, many of them I haven't chatted with them in a while, or maybe something's changed. And so that's just one of my activities for the month of December. I made this list last week. I've started picking through it. I've probably reached out to 4 or 5 of the people, and I want to get through it all. And something like that is a practical thing to do, which conversations lead to revenue at the end of the day. Right. And so I don't know where that's going to lead, but depending on each person's circumstance and how long it's been since you've talked to a lot of people, that's just something simple that I'm doing in the month of December, that hopefully what I'm wanting to do is, hit January, hit the ground running and have a bunch of things that are already in the works. And I'm using the month of December to spur some of those conversations.
You were just saying that it's a good time to do it with regards to business planning because of the market and the changes that are happening. But we actually are quite fortunate that our market tends to dip at the time that you should be doing business planning. So you kind of have a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. There's less sales that are going to happen there's less activities.
Yeah. There's less things you can be doing, at least. Well, yeah, it's a slower month for sure.
Yeah. And it's important to take everybody's different, but I personally don't want to be working on December the 22nd or 23rd. I'd like to be, enjoying the fruits of what this business allows. Depending on the job, some people work the morning of December 24th. That's the nature of some of those jobs. And our job is seasonal. We work our butts off late in the evenings and on the weekends, and, we at different times of the year. But this is one of the little beautiful things that we get in this industry, is that for roughly 2 weeks, it can be really, really quiet. Yep. And that's an awesome thing. But I enjoy that much more when I've
got a plan in place,
pushed through, ticked a lot of boxes throughout the, latter part of November, early part of December, so that I know on December the 24th, I'm, my brain's not going, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I just hit January 3rd and I'm ready to run.
Sweet.
So
next week, December something, 10th.
Business planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is 1 week today. I think we're recording this on Wednesday, 1 week today. And yeah, that is going to be, I mean, we've kind of talked about what that's going to be. There's going to be, lots of discussion around, what to do to expand relationships. What do we do with these streams of revenue? How do we grow them? How do we know more people? We need to know more people if we want more transactions. And then what are the strategies in order to dialogue and add value in those relationships? And then the other piece that we're going to do, which you're going to help with, is Google profiles. That is a sneaky little thing that I don't even know. Like, there would be a large percentage of agents that just don't do that, right?
Almost.
Like, I'm not even talking our agents. Like, I'm saying like even agents in general. If you were to just take a random sampling of 100 or 1,000 agents, whatever, like it's a high number that are either not doing it or not doing it properly. And the Google profile, I guess you call it your business Google profile.
Yep.
That has turned into it's the new first point of contact for the consumer. Like, for all the money and time that gets put into websites and whatever, the world has decided that Google is the most trusted resource.
Yep.
Period. Where we want to eat, where we want to shop, whether or not we want to buy that item, whether or not we want to go to that vacation spot. Everything is based on Google reviews. And so there's this untapped resource staring us in the face that we're not using. That's free, basically, by and large. And we have little samples of agents in our brokerage who have utilized this in the last year, turned it into easy transactions. And the thing that the reason why it's important, like practically speaking, like, when I was one of these agents, like many years ago, I would have spent lots of money on custom websites.
Sure.
And that was the way the consumer got a first impression of it, right? Google your name, find out who you are from someone, whatever, boom, they land on your webpage. And today that no longer happens, evidenced by like web traffic has changed drastically on agents' websites. And now if somebody is wanting to do a background check on you, or they've heard your name, or maybe you've been referred, you don't even realize how often these people are going to Google before they're maybe even talking to you. And they're going to your Google profile first. If they end up on your website, it's only after they've looked at your Google profile. And if you don't have a Google profile, and if you don't have your profile working for you in a way that it can actually generate leads in the same way Facebook, Instagram, all these things can do, we're missing out. And so we're going to include that as part of it, because that is, on the topic of finding new relationships, that is an easy way to possibly find more relationships.
Yeah. And it's certainly for new relationships, but it's also a huge tool for your existing clients and maybe people that just maybe know of you, but aren't the ones that are always transacting with you. Because if you're the name that's popping up when they're doing a search, or if they're curious who they are, where it came from Facebook, and then they do a Google search, there's huge opportunity. And it's going to change, because with Google Gemini, which is the AI system for Google, now incorporating maps, like there's actually a really, really significant change with that, because
it hasn't occurred yet. It's coming.
It just happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's big, because there's definitely been a shift. Google is the trusted source for doing a search, but there's definitely been a shift where people are relying on AI even more so. Well, not more so, but even more now than they were before for doing their searches. So they're not going always necessarily to Google, but they might be using the Google Gemini app, or they're using whatever. It's not ChatGPT, but having your Google profile like just ready to go, and then utilizing it through the year. That's what most agents are missing. We've gone through like teaching people how to set it up. We'll talk about that as well, but actually utilizing it as a tool. Yeah. I think that's where most agents are missing out.
Totally. And I haven't even been doing it the way we're talking about. I want to start it myself. I mean, I have a profile set up, but I've not been utilizing all those tools and abilities.
We got you like working on the review side, which is a big tool. That's a big part of it.
But there's a whole other laundry list of things that I haven't been doing. Yep.
So we'll talk about that next week.
Okay. Christmas party coming up in a few days.
Oh yeah. That's this weekend.
Yeah. That's this week. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. Yeah. That is, we're at a beautiful, I know we made a venue change, which maybe caught some people by surprise, but we're I think it's going to be incredible. We did it because it's a newer, bougier, different vibe.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. So I think people are going to be very impressed when they see it. Otter Trail Winery
in it Langley, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, on 248th. And they do, it's just, it's a stunning building, stunning setting, great food, drinks. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Phenomenal. So really, really looking forward to that. A little bit different vibe than we've done for many, many years, but it was time to change things up. And I'm very excited for, I think people are going to be very impressed and surprised when they see what
I'm excited. So, I haven't even seen
so make sure I mean, I don't know. Are we cut off? Can people still come, or are the RSVPing done?
I
don't know. If you hear this and you think you've made a mistake and you're not coming, then
just come.
You should certainly come, because it's going to be
going to be fun.
Quite a wonderful. We have some live music. I think we have some live music,
and it's not a sit down, like, so it's not like there's a scheduled
it's more
program,
mingling.
So you can come whenever you want.
And it's more mingling and we got away from the table dinner thing. This is stand, mingle, be merry.
Yeah, there's seats. It's just no
sing
program.
If you want to sing.
Sing
and just in a gorgeous atmosphere with really good food and drink. So that's that. And I hope to see everybody for the business planning. We're doing it in person
and out, because it will follow the office meeting.
Right. Because we're doing, and then it's recorded, or we're zooming it.
I'm going to zoom it.
We're zooming it. Yeah. So it's available to everybody.
It will be. It's just, if you are going to want to participate, you should be in person, because Zoom you're more watching.
Yeah. We might have Christmas treats. So,
Oh, there you go.
Come out in person. There's no reason why. I mean, maybe there's some reasons.
Very few reasons.
There's very few reasons. So, like, just come out. Come and say hi. Come do it in person.
Yep.
We'll have a lot of fun. We will. I promise everybody that you will come away feeling more prepared, more ready to go, motivated, with things to do. And
plus, you'll probably meet somebody to talk to, and
and ultimately we're going to crush 2026. No matter the condition of the market, we're going to crush 2026. We can all learn a little bit more, do a little bit better, squeeze a little bit more out of this market that's been challenging. And hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have a higher level of transactions, like I'm kind of thinking, and things will be a little bit easier. And it's good to be prepared for it. So
sweet.
Yeah. Finale. Are we done?
Wrap it up.
Okay.
We'll do another one maybe next week.
Yeah, we'll probably do
before Christmas. One more before Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. Bye for now, everyone. Merry Christmas.